I'm cold. I'm very, very cold. It's day 2, or rather the second day, I suppose. It's not consecutive days, but the second day of my 3 or 4 weeks of riding to work every day on the RadCity bike from RadPowerBikes. I wasn't sure if I was going to ride today. I was up on Mount Hood yesterday, just goofing around on the mountain, tubing and stuff like that. So it's kind of cold up there yesterday. And then this morning here, it was -4 degrees Celsius this morning when I went out and walked the dogs. I was cold in my coat and I was wondering whether I should actually ride to work this morning. However, you'll be pleased to see the bike behind me. I did. I rode to work and I'm really glad I did. It was a really nice ride this morning. Now, there's a couple of things that I noticed. Because I was a little bit more tired than I was the last time I rode in, it was a bit more hard work for me for cycling. Interestingly, though, I did actually get in a little quicker today because I let the bike take some of the strain. I also noted more of a voltage sag because it was cold outside. Now, the battery on this is 48 volts and 14 amp hours. So that equates to about 0.65 or so kilowatt hours of energy storage in the battery. And when it's a low voltage battery that's having a high current draw, which is what you're seeing on a bike like this, relatively high. Obviously, we're not talking about hundreds of amps. We're talking enough to cause the batteries to sag when they're put under heavy load. And when it's cold, the batteries will suffer more voltage sag. So if you're under heavy load as you're pedaling, you're going up the hill, the battery indicator, the state of charge indicator will start to drop back down. And then it will get to the top of the hill and then you start taking over more of the pedaling and then the voltage indicator will go back up. There are a couple of bugs that I've noticed about the bike, or a couple of things that have kind of frustrated me a little bit. First one is it doesn't seem possible to cycle faster than 20 miles per hour without the bike dragging you. So the bicycle will assist up to 20 miles an hour with you pedaling. And as you pedal and as you get closer to that speed, the motor resistance drops off. But for example, if you're going along a nice flat piece of road or you're going downhill, the bike, if you're pedaling and you're doing 20 miles an hour, the bike is no longer assisting you. But then it starts to it feels like you're dragging, like there's extra resistance. So 20 miles per hour seems to be kind of your flat out top speed. And as someone who used to cycle for, 50 miles a day, I used to comfortably be able to cruise at between 20 and 25 miles per hour. And if I was really pushing it, I could sustain 30 for short bursts. And so, to be stuck at 20, I know I'm a lot less fit than I used to be, but to be stuck at 20 is a little frustrating. The regen is not very powerful. You get between 250 and 300 watts of regenerative braking. So, which seems in line with what you'd get proportionally to a car. So, in a car, you might get a 200 kilowatt motor, but generally you'll only be able to regenerate sort of 100 kilowatts or so. And obviously this bike is a 750 watt motor. So you're regenerating at about 250 watts is kind of the max. So that seems to work pretty well. It just takes a bit of getting used to, and you have to use this pedal, this brake lever, sorry. I have to think about it because in America, the handlebar brakes are the other way around. So in the UK, this is your front brake and this is your back brake. In the United States, this is your back brake and this is your front brake. So my brain, obviously, I'm nearly 40. I've spent more time riding bikes in the UK than I have in the US, even though I've lived here now for, 3-4 years. So my brain still wants to go the other way around. Anyway, that's a bit of an update on the RadCity power bike. I've had a really good trip in. I am now just about warming up. I had like thick Arctic gloves on. I had a hat on underneath my helmet. I had a muffler on, like a snood, to just basically try and keep the wind out, because it was a headwind all the way. That's the other thing I meant to say. Pretty strong headwind, like 15-mile-an-hour headwind, and I'm still cold, but I'm slowly warming up. There will be more updates in the next couple of days and weeks. I've got a frog in my throat for some reason. I'm going to have some breakfast. That's my breakfast. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to both this channel and the main channel. Support us through all the usual links, Patreon, Ko-fi, buy something from our shop. And I'll be back soon with more informal updates on my ride to work for a month on this wonderful bike behind me. But until next time, keep evolving.